I'm not teaching, I'm publicly learning. But hi and welcome to Learning for the Life in the UK test, part 110, Trade and Industry, and I think that is part 2 of Trade and Industry. While doing risk training, and if you participate in risk training, it is a honest. So we were talking about the Victorian Age, and it was the time when the British Empire grew and expanded. It was the time when Britain increased in power and influence abroad, but also inside of Britain, changes happened. For example, with people giving some laws, women and children were allowed to work maximum 10 hours per day. That was in 1847. And laws were changed. For example, the corn laws were abolished, so people could now buy cheap corn, industries, and build firms. And other stuff was changed, so that people could free trade was established, and transport was improved, so railways were many built, and George and Robert Stephenson pioneered the railway engine, and a major expansion of the railway happened during the Victorian Empire, during the Victorian period. And there were also many bridges built. Not really, that is not really what I said here. There were also great advances in other areas, such as the building of bridges. And we have that it's an example of Eichenwald Kingdom Brunel, an engineer. He made tunnels, bridges, railway lines, and ships. And some of his bridges are still in use today. And here we have a picture of a cliff suspension bridge, which Eichenwald Kingdom Brunel designed. British industry led the world in the 19th century. By the amount or by quality? The British industry was leading in the 19th century. The UK produced more than half of the world's iron, coal and cotton cloth, so by amount. But quality can also be. The UK produced more than half of the world's iron. So iron, this is hard stuff. It's basically like this. Like iron and coal, I said a bit about it already. It produced more than half of the world's coal, because coal is not produced, it's mined in the ground. In the 19th century, coal and cotton cloth. So we're talking about textiles and fabrics. And we know of Richard Arkwright, he improved the carding machine. And now we should know, for example, how Arkwright made the textile industry more efficient. We just want to know that he improved the carding machine, which is totally useless as knowledge, as a life skill, to know that you can improve something by improving it, but it seems to be the answer. It seems to be all we have. And cotton cloth. So, UK produced more than half of the world's iron, coal and cotton cloth. And it was the leading industry in the world. The UK also became a centre for financial services, including insurance and banking. So, if someone doesn't know all this stuff, they will have no idea how to imagine how someone can become the centre for financial services. And I don't know it enough to explain it. It means that there were many banks in England, but what does it mean now exactly? And is it even possible to know it exactly? Many of these things, who has on the bank is private, and we don't know who is signing what in secret on this piece of paper. So how much can be ever known about financial services? The UK also became a centre for financial services, including insurance and banking. Insurance means that if you injure yourself, you will get money for it. Something like that. Now it means if you injure yourself, for example, because the coal mining was too dangerous, and you are breaking your spine, and you are now for the rest of your life in a wheelchair, and you can't work, that now you were insured, and now you were getting from the insurance company money every month. So you are just normally working, and you're paying into the insurance company, let's say £50 or so a month. In case that if you get injured, you will receive £500 a month to live from. So you hope that you just pay for all your life without ever needing it. And then maybe after 10 years of paying in, you have an accident, you break your spine, and now it is intended that now the insurance company is paying you every month 500 of. There's a big little bit difference between paying 50 and 500. It means that every 10th person breaks their spine, but something like that. And when you're getting money from the insurance company, so you're paying into the insurance company while you're healthy, and when if you have an accident and you're insured for that accident and they pay, you will get the money, and you can live then and your family from that money you got from the insurance company. And the idea is that you pay in even though you don't know if you ever need it, but you don't pay so much. You pay only a little amount. It can be still quite a great sum. You're paying a bit because in case that something very severe happens, you will then get enough, which will be then way more when you have paid in, if all works properly. You hope normally that you never need it and that you have just wasted the money. But what means wasted? Maybe someone else who needs it gets it, because it needs 10 people to pay £50 a month in, so that one person can be injured. And the insurance company hopes that only 1 in 11 people gets injured, and we are getting the money for the 11 persons. So that 11 people are paying in and 1 gets injured, and they're making 550 income from these 11 people, and they're paying only 500 out to 1 person, and the insurance company makes £50 per month. That is the idea for the insurance company. The idea for the 11 people paying in is that they can all know, if an accident happened, at least their family will get enough to eat, and they also enough to eat. And the person who gets affected will get enough to eat. So it's more or less a win-win situation if all do their best. So that was a center for these services in Great Britain. But as I said, this is all vague. Nobody knows what is signed on a piece of paper in virtual money or something like that. So what does it mean, financial services? In 1851, a great exhibition opened in Hyde Park in the Crystal Palace, a huge building made of iron and glass. So in the year 1851, there was something called the Great Exhibition, and that was in the Hyde Park, and that is also in London. And they built a Crystal Palace, and in that Crystal Palace, it was made of iron and glass, itself a great exposition and a great architectural work. So there was a great hall out of iron and glass built, and in it many things were exhibited. I still don't know how to form that word, were displayed. Yes, okay, it's written here. We had so less explained to Hyde Park and so on, but I thought there's very good order. Exhibits, but this is not exhibited. Exhibits ranged from huge machines to handmade goods. So in the Hyde Park there was a big Crystal Palace out of iron and glass, and in it were heavy machines. I don't know about tractors, and I know some other stuff, but I don't want to name it now. And there were heavy machines, something like tractors, for example, could be there to display, hey, we have made that new tractor, we have invented that. Look what nice things are possible to do. And also handmade goods. Countries from all over the world showed their goods, but most of objects were made in Britain. So also other countries had displayed their stuff what they had produced. Most of the things in that exhibition in 1851 were from Great Britain. It was housed in Great Britain. Very different on, but there are every couple of years great exhibitions in countries all over the world. And of course Britain is, I'm pretty sure, every year a part of it and displays some things which were produced in Britain. This is trade and industry. We are having 5 minutes left. We haven't even started with the restraining. We will do now sound restraining and maximum sound repetition of what we had. So thank you very much if you're already passing on. Thank you very much in the next one, but we're doing now restraining for the last 5 minutes. Let's do restraining. You can participate in it, but just at your own risk. So we are having just a comfortable standing, and we're having the flat hands next to us. And we're doing the magician. We're bringing these hands to the inside and to the outside. And we're having 3 rules. The first rule is that we are stopping immediately as soon as we feel pain. The second rule is that we are not overdoing it. Now the second rule is that we're going as fast as we can go. And the third rule is actually also similar, is that we're not overdoing it. We're doing less than we are capable of doing. This was the last time. Now the pancake flipper. Flat hands next to us and flipping the hands up to the sky. And up to the sky. And again. And the last time. And now to the T-Rex in the morning. Hands with flat hands out, bringing them down. And up. And up and down. And last time up. And down. That's the end up. And now we're doing the cautious big bang. We're placing the finger tips on top of the fingernails of the other hand, and we're pressing a little bit. Now we are opening and closing. And the last time. And we're closing. And now we're switching and we're doing it with the other hand. We're opening and closing. And now, I think we're done the first training. So we're having one long arm, we're making a little bend, and we're going with moderate pressure of the middle part of the lower arm. Now we're switching on to the other side, and we're going with moderate pressure of the middle part of the lower arm. And the last time. And after we're done with this training, I thank you very much, and until next time.